Well, good morning, everybody. Great to see you all here. I guess it's morning and afternoon all over the place, right? Depending on where you're coming from.
Good morning, Dale.
Good morning. I hear familiar voices and faces I see, and some new people. So welcome aboard, everybody. Glad you could join us this morning. We've got a great group that's going to be on the call this morning. So we're going to give it about one more minute to see who else is going to be jumping on. So we're over about 50 or 60 people now. So I'm excited to have such a great group on target this morning. I know that's what we're all interested in, is how we're marketing and doing lead gen these days. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Dale Donovan B. I am a MAPS coach for Mastery and also for Fast Track, which is the commercial mentorship program. I have been with KW Commercial since 2010, and I have been in the industry in commercial real estate for 30 plus years. So I am considered a veteran, a veteran of commercial real estate. So it's my pleasure to be able to work with you today and to be able to provide you with some opportunities to maybe hone your skills and your techniques for lead generation and marketing so that we can adapt to the market that we're in and make some money and make some business happen for all of us in the next couple of quarters of the year. So today, as I said, we're going to do 10 techniques for commercial real estate, which is really our code word for lead gen. These are ideas, next slide, please. These are ideas for today, tomorrow, and for 2023. I don't think that you're going to find anything remarkably new here. However, these are things that we need to focus on to hone our skills. And in this kind of market that we're in, where everything is moving around, going up and down and around, that we need to be able to go back to the foundational information and foundational structure that we've had when we first started out, and those techniques that have shown success for all of those brokers that have hit that top tier and that top level. So that's what we're going over today. Next slide, please, Tris. Before we go any further, though, I want to thank two people that are on the call with me. I've got Graham, Graham Trainer, who is a specialist. Say hello, Graham.
Hello, Graham. Hello, everybody. Just kidding. How's it going? Thanks for attending, showing up. Awesome.
And then I have Tris Fabular, who is my personal assistant and works with me. Tris, say hello to everyone. Everybody that.
Hello, everyone.
So these are my two right and left arms. So thank you guys for your support in helping put this together today. We're looking at a market where we have to really be careful about what we're doing. I'm looking forward to having participation from everybody, either as we go along in the chat box, and I'll stop briefly in between slides and things to answer questions if there are any, and then I'll have a Q&A section at the end so that we'll have time to get those participating and get questions in. I love the Q&A part. So I'm going to go through this quickly and then we'll dive in. Key people and businesses. I know we've all heard about, we're driving for dollars and also walking the park. This is getting to know your market very, very well, making this personal for you and for your local market so that you have the information about what's going on and who's doing what to who and who's moving where and so forth. Also, it gives you information to be able to target certain buildings. If you see empty spaces, if you see construction going on, if you see, activity that you feel might create an opportunity for properties to be listed or marketed or that are empty, identify them and go for it. The other key people that we need to be involved with are actually, the people that are the professionals surrounding commercial real estate: attorneys, architects, CPAs, engineers, title companies, insurance surveyors, inspectors, furniture, fixture, and equipment providers. I have one client of mine in Mastery that focuses on medical office buildings, and one of his key referral partners that he has is a dental equipment supplier, and awesome partnership and relationship. So those are the kind of things that you need to look at of who's doing business with your prospective clients or prospective tenants and buyers. Lenders, fund managers, and investors involved with commercial real estate. We need to know what's going on in the dollar world, in the financial world, and in the lenders world to know what their sweet spots are. There are things that are changing, and we need, not that business is stopping. It's a little different than it was before. So we need to know what the business is that we can go after, target that, and focus our energies on that rather than trying to climb up, push mud uphill. Okay, so be clear on what you want to, who you want to work with, and so forth. Oh boy, is that 2 words that just mean so much, right? Get organized. Someone said that to me yesterday, and then I spent the next 2 hours talking to them about what that meant. Getting organized. You know, you have to have an approach to this, an approach that is not just, throwing something at the wall and hoping that it sticks. This is a market where we must be looking at the qualified and finding the motivated. We don't have time to convince people to buy or sell, to list, to invest. We need to find those people that are motivated. There are ways to do this, and we can talk more about that when in the commercial mentorship program for those that are new to the business, and also for those that are looking for new ways to find the motivated. Select properties. Look for the properties and the type of property or specialty that's hot in the market. But you have to be sure there's inventory. For instance, industrial, it's a hot ticket. But do you have the inventory in your market to be able to respond to someone that wants to lease or that wants to buy or purchase? So there's ways to deal with those kinds of things. For instance, like, having land for development. So those are different opportunities. So we have to be a chameleon in this world, and we have to morph so that we're being able to respond to the market today. As I said earlier, this is not the time to try to convince someone to buy or sell or invest. Their expectations. Remember, we used to say ready, willing, and able. Now it's ready, willing, and able. And the fourth one that I added is Dale, is expectations. They may be ready, willing, and able, but do their expectations meet the market? And that is the critical component right now. So don't spend time with people that have expectations that are not in sync with the market, because your time is valuable and you only need to be spending it with people right now and prospects right now that are going to bring you dollar signs and those that you can help. Number 3, your database. Okay, here we go. RealNext. I know we had issues with people. It's hard to learn. It's, one of those things that we don't like change. However, this is the future. We have so many opportunities in here inside RealNext to find prospects, to identify prospects, to follow up on them, on clients, identifying properties, doing your research, putting your deals in here, handling your transactions, having checklists, your presentations, your marketing brochure, all of that, the tracking, the reporting, the analyzing, the following up, it's all in RealNext. If you're having issues with it, start with your CRM first and start adding database information on your contacts, starting with your sphere of influence. And we go more into that later on too. But how many people on here are currently using RealNext? Classes are on Wednesdays. Thank you, Chris. Chris McCarthy is one of our gurus, or the guru on RealNext, and he teaches classes with KW Commercial on Wednesdays. So look at our training calendar. Go into the chat box. Let me know how many people in here, to give me a yes or no, are part of KW Commercial. Let me see at the chat box. Yes or no? Yes, yes, yes. Good, good, good. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I'd say just about almost everybody is. Beginner, good. That's great. What a great place to start. Okay. We've got a lot of yeses. I am so glad to see that. Okay, now I want to see, yes, it's okay, or I want to see reality here. Use the guide me tool. It's amazing. Oh, thank you for that. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, how many people on here are using RealNex? I didn't say effectively, but how many people are in RealNex? Let's put it that way. Give me a yes or no. Okay, trying to. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, yes. Okay, I see a couple of no's. Yes, you trying to. Okay, good. Okay, that gives me great, that gives me great hope. There's a lot more on here, just starting, yes, getting started. Okay, for those that are just getting started and for those that are using it initially, make sure that you're using these tips and tools and training. It's all there. People say, well, I need marketing materials. It's there. I need a brochure. It's there. I need a checklist. It's there. I need to follow up on my tracking. How do I follow up? It's there. What's the best way to learn RealNex? Chris, let us know what's the best way to learn RealNex.
Something you'd say, go out good early, just jump in and start doing it. And also see Kajabi. There are classes, and the calendar has the old reruns of the classes that George and I have done. And also I threw my email in.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that tremendously. There's great training on there. And what I'd suggest you do is start with the CRM. There's so many components of, and check me on this if I'm wrong, Chris, but there's so many components to RealNex that you need to start with the CRM first and get comfortable with that. Okay, thumbs up on that. Great, thank you. Moving from residential to commercial. Oh, if you're not part of the commercial mentorship program, we're going to hear more about that in a little while. Make sure that if you're getting into commercial real estate, that you're part of this CMP program I'm going to discuss in a little while. Okay, who's the perfect prospect client? Okay, we all know who we want. Okay, so that's who we have to go after. We have to be persistent, we have to be determined, and we have to do some research. So location or value of the transaction. The number of my clients, even if you're starting out in the business, you look at the dollar transaction volume, okay, or the transaction dollar amount. That is critical. If you're doing the average transaction in commercial real estate in a boutique or into the realm that we are right now is between 500 and about probably 10 million. Okay, 500,000 is kind of the bottom line. If you're working in deals that are below 500,000, you're probably working with people that are new to the industry or new to their business, that are opening up their first business, will need a lot of hand holding and probably will not bring the quality of a deal to the table that you're looking for. So they need to be qualified first. And if you're in that 500 to million two, that's probably your most successful range. Anything above 750, you're going to find people that are going to be much more qualified and that are prepared to do the deal and transaction and will be able to do it faster and quicker and to be able to respond. There's nothing wrong with letting people know, and you can help them by saying to them, you need a business plan, you need to fill out the tenant application, you need to do all of these things that are going to prepare you. It's not what I want as the broker. This is what the landlord is requiring. And I've heard this week, for all of those that are representing tenants, that the landlords are now starting to require 6 to 9 months of proof of reserve in the bank to run the business for the first 6 to 9 months. So they're looking for dollars in the bank, in reserve. So you can't start out without a business plan, without a budget, and without money. So most of those that are in that 500, is there a business plan? Landlords love it. Yes, absolutely. And so do the brokers, because if they have a business plan, they know what they're doing. I'll give you some more information about the business plan in a minute. Don't let me forget that business plan. Personal wealth. You know, what are their assets? Do they have other properties that they own? What is the business type or corporation? What's the portfolio? Do they have other ownership? What's the company name? Does it have, some sort of prestige to it? Is it recognized? Is it national? Is it local? Is it something that people will understand? Previous contact or record of communication. That's always an excellent opportunity. Other involvement with you and your brokerage and expectations matching the market. There we are again. Next slide, please, Tris. Coming out of the cold. Okay. Maps and Alicia and all of them are probably going to kill me at this point. But I work with a lot of people and that are, trying to do their cold calls and their lead gen. Right now, I think the market is so challenging that we really need to look at our sphere of influence and doing warm calls. At least start out with those first. Don't waste your time in the prospecting process of calling strangers. That's probably not going to be your best time. If you're targeting a certain area, your circle marketing around a project that you closed or sold or, that you're working on or marketing or whatever, then that is a different kind of cold call because you're circle marketing around a particular property. That's target marketing, target cold calling. I totally agree with that. And allocate your time to prospecting. Make sure that is the first thing you do in the day. Because if you don't, you're going to put it off and you're going to find a way that you're going to avoid it. But when you start doing it and give yourself 4 or 5 phone calls that you connect with, that people say, well, how many do I have to make? Until you make a connection and until you get an appointment set, that's how many you have to make. So it's up to you how many you want to reach out to, but that's the way you measure it. Don't waste time sending out hundreds of emails and making calls to people that you don't know unless there's a specific target in mind, unless you've done research on that particular property or you're doing circle marketing. You only have so much time in a day. Spend it wisely and increase your better at bats. Fish where the fish are and find the motivated. Next slide, please, Tris. Marketing is lead gen. I know I kind of tricked y'all saying marketing. That's our spy word for lead gen. I mean, that's what we do. People say, well, I don't really do lead gen. I attend networking events. Hello, that is lead gen. If you're making the attempt and you're making that connection and you follow up. If you just go there and shake hands and glad hand and talk about their dog or their puppy or the kids graduating, or what the soccer team is doing, that's not lead gen. That's just socializing. But if you're going to these networking events and you attend, make sure that you create some opportunities for you to connect with people that are involved. And also I give you some tips and tools in the commercial mentorship program about how to get in and out of these meetings with success. Facebook, Instagram, we know how to optimize those things. If you don't, read about it, Google it, use chatbot, figure it out, blog, newsletters, websites, anything that you can to get your name out there. The residential folks, they have done an awesome job. They have hit the target right on. And we need to pay attention and find out and learn a little bit about how they've done the marketing and how they're working with the social media, because they are hitting it right on. Yes, we have to approach it differently. Yes, our terminology is different. And yes, we have to be cautious about our strategy and reaching out to our commercial prospects. However, we need to pay attention. This is the new era. We have to be involved in this. Paid or unpaid advertising, that's entirely up to you. I've never paid for advertising myself unless the client wanted to do it in a specific publication or something like that, and they paid for it. And referrals, my gosh, we have over 195,000 residential agents in KW Commercial. I mean, what a treasure trove that is. People say, oh, you're in a residential, Keller Williams. Yeah, absolutely right. I have 195,000 referral opportunities. So the way that the referral opportunities have value for you, if you make sure you qualify them and help the agents, the referring agents, understand what you're doing when you're qualifying, that you are actually helping their referrals. And they're really not leads they're really not referrals when they first give them to you, they're leads. You turn them into a referral. Okay. Okay, what's your view on networking groups such as CCIM Crew and Provisors? Okay, I'll give you my opinion on those. I think they're awesome, but you're not going to go and just walk into the room and meet people. You have to get involved in a committee. If you're going to get involved on a committee, you have to be part of the organization and you need to get involved. Do not become a treasurer. Do not become a secretary. Do not become anything that has to do with the budgeting or, and you know, what you want to do is meet people. So you want to be on the membership committee or you want to be on the sponsorship committee. Both of those will get you in touch with the people that you need to know. And I can give you some really good tips on those. Or the president. Yeah. And you go from the committee to leadership to the president of the organization. And that has been the path that I've taken with Crew. I was president of Central Florida Commercial Association of Realtors over 10 counties for a number of years. And those are where you get, the decision makers and the people that you're going to be referring business to and from. So get involved. If you're going to do it, get involved, Okay, so tracking and analyzing. Track to know your success ratio. What are you doing right? What are you doing wrong? If it's not working, stop it. We know what that means, right? If you keep doing the same thing over and over again and it doesn't work, we know what that means. So, and analyze your conversion rates. What's working for you? If you're doing it in one direction and you're not, whoops, what happened there? I think I just did that myself. And analyzing for hits, meetings, listings, agreements, pendings, closings, repeat business opportunities. There's all kinds of ways that you can track this. All of my mastery clients and all of my CMP clients and the groups, we have ways to track all of our deals, our transactions, our pendings, our pipeline, and all of that so that we understand where the business is coming from so we don't waste time. Next slide, please. Be the market expert. This is where people say, well, what do I say when I call them? What if I'm making a cold call or if I'm making a warm call? What do I say to my sphere of influence? Don't pitch your business. Don't pitch yourself. They could care less. All right? They could care less how successful you are or what you're doing. Really. I mean, what they want to know is, what are you going to do for them today? How are you going to help them figure out how they can grow their business? Ask them. Say, hi Joe, this is Dale. I just want to give you a call today. Lots is going on in the industry and in the market and, in commercial real estate. I know that we've got some growth going on out here in our area. How is that impacting your business? What are you finding? Don't let them go into the negatives. Say, what are you finding that's working for you in your business? What's making it successful for you? What's working for you? And then they're going to tell you, and they're going to say, who's your customer? I know a lot of people, Mr. or Ms. Prospect. So tell me who your customer client is. If I run across someone that can use your services or product, believe me, I'm going to send them to you. Now, in return for that, I'd really appreciate, the reciprocity. And if you know of anyone that's looking for, a space or real estate or buying or selling or leasing, I said, let me know. Now you're not pitching them. They don't have to say yes or no. And you can say to them, let me call you back in a week. Don't think, you don't have to tell me now. Let me call you back in a week. And if you've heard of anybody, meanwhile, if I know of anyone that can use your services, I'll let you know. Can I call you back in a week? Now you've got an open gate. Okay. They're going to take your call again. Historic past and assumptions. We can't go on what we did last time. We can't go on what we did before. All right. The assumptions that we made in yesterday's market no longer work. We have to find out what's going on today and what's working today. People say, oh my God, 7%, it's like, oh, I can't. I've done business in successfully when we had 14% interest rates. You can do it. Yes, Bill, you're right. What can I do for you? Exactly. What can I do for you to help you grow your business? And always keep them in the positive. And if they try to get into the negative, that Chicken Little, the sky is falling. Well, what is working for you? Tell me what is being successful for you. And they've got to have something. If they're not being successful, move on. Discuss ways to help them develop their business, reciprocity, their targets. Follow up, follow up, follow up. I love this statement right here at the top. 24% of commercial real estate agents, brokers, follow up effectively. Only 24%. How many of you are the 24%? Okay. You need to be. You need to take that percentage and make it higher, make you part of that percentage there. You hear prospects say this all the time. They never call me back. You're the first person to call me back. When they said they'd call me, they never called me. Otherwise, they probably would have gotten my business. I know we've all heard that, right? Be the commercial real estate broker agent that gets the deal because you made that follow-up connection. You made that contact. And here's the other magic. Pick up the phone. Not when you're doing your lead gen, not when you've blocked your time to do your research, and not when you're doing your follow-up for your clients and getting the transaction and the deal done. But when you've set that time apart for you to pick up the phone and be responsive, that is the time you pick up the phone and you work with them and you make sure that you are following exactly, what you've said that you would do for them. Next slide, please. To summarize, put that key in the lock. This is the efficiency that you want to look for. Prepare a spreadsheet. List the night before and do your research. Don't do it in the morning when you get into the office or before you start making your calls. Do it the night before. You're going to know what it is. Doing it the afternoon before you leave the office, before you close down your computer at night, wherever you are working, do it the night before. Do your research so that you're not wondering, what do I say tomorrow? How do I practice this? What do I say to these people? Always know what your purpose is. What's the purpose in calling? Getting a meeting. Not selling your services, not getting them to list with you, not getting them to buy something from you. It's to get the meeting. You can do that. Let's get together and talk about your business, how I can help you grow. Let's go talk about what's going on in the area here that's going to impact your business. With me being in commercial real estate, I know a lot of people, so I know what's going on. When can we talk? Okay, now they're going to meet with you because now you're talking about their business. You're not pitching them on real estate. You'll get into that later on, but this is the best way. And if you're genuinely concerned and you're authentic about how to help them in business, they'll respond to that and they won't turn you down and they won't shut you off. Believe me. Provide something of value. What's important to the prospect? What's going on in the market? Who's doing what to who's moving in, who's moving out, where the growth is, what the economic development counselor told you, what the demographics are doing, what's growing, what companies are coming in, what companies are going out, where the business is going, where the roads are, what's happening, where the growth impact is going to be. And show interest in their business, not just pitching yours. Does this make sense, guys and gals? I hope so. Tracking and analyzing, be effective, work smarter. They say, I don't want to track what I'm doing. If you don't track what you're doing, you can't measure it. You can't see what the direction is that you're going in. Example of that. One of my clients was making phone calls in a particular targeted area. He was making them between, I think it was like 9 and 10 in the morning. He was making the calls and he wasn't getting anywhere. All right. He decided to reverse that. He was doing multifamily investors. He decided to look at what was going on and moved his calls to like an late afternoon or early evening for these multifamily investors that he was working with. Now he found them accessible. In the morning, they weren't. So he was getting 1 out of 5 calls that he was making a connection with, whereas before he was making 20, 30, or 40 and not making a connection. And all he did was change the time of when he was making the calls. But you have to look at all of those aspects of it to make sure that you're being effective and you're being efficient. And then follow up. If you told them you were going to call them back, call them back. And if you haven't told them you were going to call them back, you should have. So make sure that you can get into a situation where you're being effective, you're working smarter. And every time you pick up that phone or every time you make a connection in a networking meeting or you talk to someone in your business or you talk to someone in their business, that you're making some kind of connection. Tell everybody you're in commercial real estate. I've told this story before. People have heard me. I did a transaction. I did a lead gen across my husband's hospital bed with his cardiologist. I said, I'm in commercial real estate. He goes, oh, I'm looking for expand my office. I went, oh, 6 months later, I was getting a deal done with him. So always be talking about commercial real estate. You never, ever know where your opportunities are going to come from. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Give yourself, a 33 touch program that works for commercial. Give yourself an 8x8 program that works for commercial. I have examples of those in the commercial mentorship program too. So those are things that you can work on that are specific and that are targeted and that are organized and that you have this magic 150 or 200 people that you're going to be communicating with on a quarterly basis, that you have consistency, you have determination, and that you're targeting them specifically because you know that they are quality people that will in some way or fashion be able to do business or recommend you to someone. Next slide. Please, Tris. Okay, here it is. I don't like to do lead gen. Well, change your mind about that because there's nothing else you can do. Call it whatever you want to do it. Call it marketing. Call it putting yourself in front of other people, putting yourself in the path of opportunity. Whatever you want to call it, but do it. Fear or faith, it's your choice. Are you afraid of it or do you believe in it? If you believe in it, it'll happen. Yes, you can have these slides, Joe. Okay, next slide, please. Be bold. Fear or faith, your choice. Okay, this is my funny for the day. Here's my owl. Isn't he cute? Okay, I'm open for some questions if you have any. So I'm hoping we have some questions because I love Q&A. So let me know what your thoughts are on what I've said so far and we can see what's in the chat box here. The PowerPoint will be available. Yes, we're going to be, Graham, Tris, do we email this out or is it going to be available on a link? How do we make the slide presentation available?
Yeah, the slides, they're in presentation mode on the recording. So you can watch the recording as many times as you want, and be able to access the slides at whatever pace you prefer.
Perfect. And then it says, save this link. You've got the YouTube thing here available. There's slides. Can you please email it to PowerPoint and make calls? Oh, thank you, Jesus. I make calls after 3 p.m. and get 90% success rate at calling investors. There you go. That's a perfect example. How you doing, Jesus? I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you on here. Bill, inspect what you expect. I like that. Ask for a time to follow up and put it on your calendar. If it's not on the calendar, what? It doesn't exist, right? As the saying goes, the fortune is in the follow-up. Oh, I love that. Drip, drip, drip. I'm going to use that. The fortune is in the follow-up. Thanks, Mike. Let's see. Who is your ideal customer? Who do you know that I should know? Oh, I like that one. Who do you know that I should know? Oh, that's a good one. What can I do for you? What about expired, withdrawn, or canceled listings? A lot of it depends on the market that you're in. I have a couple of personal thoughts. This is my personal opinion, okay? If it's already expired or it's been withdrawn off the market or something has happened about it being there's something wrong already. So unless you're a real problem solver and unless you can go in there and figure out what that is beforehand and being able to offer that problem and know that you can solve it, it could be the seller, it could be, the property, there could be issues with the property. Just make sure if you're going after those that you're using your time effectively. I say go after, fish where the fish are. If it's already dead in the water, why would you pick it up? That's my opinion. That's my personal opinion. Okay. So, let's see, what else do we have here? Membership committee was the other. Oh yeah, sponsorship and membership committee. Glad you like the advice. Let's see, 4 new messages here. What system do you use to track calls other than Excel spreadsheet? RealNex. That's it. Chris, tell us, what do we can we use RealNex to track our calls and follow up?
You can use them to track. It's underneath the contacts. So it's in contacts where you use the tracking feature. You can push it with your browser extension. It will call your phone and it will even time it for you.
Wow. Thank you. Perfect. Okay. Can you share techniques you might utilize to close the price discovery gap? Yeah, let me talk about that in a minute. Typically, sellers are still expecting last year's value. This is what I said before. Give them the market information, Richard. Be knowledgeable. Give them the comps. Provide the information to them that is going on, what's going on in the community, what's going on. Read, so that you know what's going on. Every market is different. There's some national trends that are going on, but your market will show you the trends that are there for your area. So you've got to know that. Okay. And if they're so unrealistic that if you can't close the gap, move on. There are people out there that are motivated. They will be. Well, yeah. I know. Here's a good one. I'd go to estate attorneys. There's always trust in estates and things in those issues. I go to CPAs for people that are having issues and problems. I go to bankruptcy attorneys. I go to divorce attorneys. Those are people that are being pushed into selling. Okay. They need to sell. They must sell. They are motivated. If a seller says, well, I'm not ready to sell right now, I'm going to wait for the market. You can always use the analogy that we use in MAPS coaching, where you draw the mountain that goes up and then the mountain that comes down like this in the gully and then back up again. And then you take your pen and you start up to the side and you go, okay, here's where we were last year in 2022. Okay. And then you come about halfway down the mountain. You say, this is about where we are now. And then you say, okay, now tell me when we're going to hit bottom here. If you're going to be buying this on the buyer side, tell me we're going to hit bottom, or it can be on the seller too. And they say, we don't know. We're going to wait till it comes back up. The gap in between the high points in your pricing, they say, is somewhere between 7.5 and 10 years. How long can this seller wait? Or are they going to chase the market down? If they're going to chase the market down, do you want to chase it down with them? No. Now, if the buyer is there and they're saying, well, I'm going to wait till if prices are going lower, I'm going to wait. Why wait? If the deal works today, you may miss the opportunity because there's other people out there that know this is the time to make money, and they're going to be moving on these things. There are people out there that I'm talking to now that are smart, savvy, brokers, investors, buyers, sellers, and they know what to do. This is the market you make money in. This is the market that there are people that are jumping out of commercial real estate brokerage. There are people that are jumping out of this and agents, and they're not able to survive because they're not doing what they need to do. They're not doing the foundational work that we're talking about here today. And they're jumping out of, guess what that means? That means you don't jump with them. That means there's less competition for you. If you do what you're supposed to do, now you've got an ace in the hole. This is the market where people make money. Don't listen to the media. Media only makes money with bad news. Read the economics, read about commercial real estate, who's doing deals. The deals are still going on. There's still properties out there that need to move. There's still office spaces that need to move. There's still retail spaces that are going in and out. There's still industrial properties, hopefully, and find those opportunities that are there because they are there. Recent contestants. Yes.
I had my hand up. I didn't type it in, but I wonder if I could ask your opinion on something.
Sure.
So I enjoy getting the referrals from the markets, a couple of the market centers that are around me. But how would you handle when you start getting referrals that are like, okay, this guy wants 1,100 square feet, and just the really, really small ones? How do you gracefully answer and respond to that without discouraging them so that they don't want to refer anything else to you?
Okay. You do it with the intent of getting them to qualify. You don't talk about the deal being small because they'll think
Okay.
you're
Yes, right.
you're a snob broker. I know. I was one of those. I know. And when I first joined in 2010. So what you do is you make the phone call first, because our purpose in life is to service. That's who we are, commercial. We want to make money, but
Right.
we're service. Okay. So you pick up the phone, you say, hey, tell me what you're looking for. Now, here's what the landlord's going to require from you. I'm going to give you a tenant application. You need a business plan. You need 6 months of money in the bank that the landlord wants. When you have all of that backed up and you have proof of that, I'll be glad to provide that to the landlord, because everybody else I work with has that information. And if you don't have it, you won't get what you want. And I can't take you out to the landlord because they won't allow me to do it. Now you haven't talked about the size, because more than likely they're not ready.
Yeah, I'm not so much, I would never say that to the prospective client. I'm talking about to the agent who referred it.
It's real simple. Would you take out a residential prospect to a house without proof of them having funding?
Right.
Would they? No.
No.
Okay. You have to, in commercial, it's just the same. We have to have proof that these people are capable of doing it. They're not giving you a referral. They think it's a referral. In the residential world, it's called a referral because there's inventory out there, out the yin yang. Okay. In commercial real estate, it's a lead.
Right. Right.
So they're giving you a lead. And then you explain that to them, say, this is a lead until I can develop this into a referral, until the client has qualified. This is a lead. I will be more than keep them informed. That's what I didn't do. And I got tattled on. Okay. I was getting referrals from residential agents, and they went to my team leader and said, she's not responding to us, and we're giving her referrals, and she's not taking care of it. And I went like, oh my God, it was my fault, because what I didn't do is I didn't talk to the residential agents, and I didn't keep them informed. Every time after that, I would have learned. I went back to them, and these are business people. They're not trying to throw something at you to make you work for nothing. They're business people. They understand you and say to them, my business is just like yours. I have to qualify these people. I appreciate the opportunity. Let me talk to them and see if if they're ready to do this. If not, I can direct them. I've got attorneys. I've got people that help with business plans. I've got CPAs. I've got all of the general contractors, all of that. And I'll refer them. We'll help them get ready. And then you give them the responsibility back to the tenant or back to the buyer where it belongs.
Yeah, and the one thing, and I'll just finish with this so anybody else can talk, but the one thing that I say that helps me qualify them and weed them out is, after they've told me what they're looking for, I say, well, do you want me to keep my eyes open for you, or do you want to hire me to find you a space?
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of weeds it out, because then I can get into the tenant rep agreement and what that's all about. So,
well, and that's a great way to approach it, Jim. I'm a little more direct, as you can tell.
yeah.
When I start talking with my clients, I learned this right off the bat. And I say to them, first of all, let me tell you this. The way that I do business as a commercial real estate broker, after this many years in the business, or this is the way I do business, is I only work exclusively for my clients. And all of these services that I provide are for my clients. So when we determine that you're looking for a space, are you willing to work with me on an exclusive basis? I don't beat around the bush. And I said, I'm going to send you a tenant application, and I'm going to send you the tenant my exclusive representation form. When you've looked at those and read them and gone over them, let me know. And when you can provide the information that we need for the landlord, I'll be glad to work with you. So let me know. Let's do some business together. Now you've given them you run your business. Don't let your business run you.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Jim. Was there another question? I didn't see if there was one in the chat box. business journals, that's great. If you ask referring those questions about qualification, they probably won't know, but at least they'll understand how you'll be qualifying the lead. Exactly. And let me see who that is. Greg. And if you choose not to work with them, the lead tells the referring agent you couldn't help. The agent will at least understand why. Exactly. And you can say to them, you wouldn't work with someone that was unqualified either. You wouldn't take someone out to a house and show them the house if they didn't have, proof of funds, or you didn't think that they were capable financially to do this. And, my business is the same. They get it. They're business people. They understand it. But if you avoid it and you just, turn the other person off, then that's a difficult situation. Okay. Let's see what other questions. Exclusive rep agreement. Absolutely. Thank you, Bruce. And we just touched a little bit on that with Jim. Always, always have in writing your exclusive representation, whether it's a buyer or a tenant. And naturally you have it with your listing, but never work if they say, well, bring me something. I don't. I work exclusively for my clients and I give them, complete service. And, I'd love to work with you and, as one of my clients. So, and then you give them the spiel, but don't ever work with someone just because they say, well, show me some properties. No. And I don't show any properties until they're qualified. I may give them a short list, like 2 or 3 properties, say this is what's going on in the market, or I may give them market information. I mean, CoStar gives you quarterly information about every possible, product type that there is and what's going on in the market. And you should know, and you read the newspaper, you read your business journals, you know what's going on. And you say, this is, the range of rent is this, lease is this to this, it's how much per square foot, it's triple net, it's gross. These are the ranges. And this is how you build, well, I need to know what that is for my business plan. This is the range that you work with for your business plan. Do not take them out, because if you're starting out in the business, and you take unqualified tenants or buyers out to other brokers in the industry, you will get a bad reputation off the bat. You'll have a black ball next to your name, and they will not return phone calls, and they will not respect the next time you bring someone to the table. So set your precedent early of who you are as a professional, that you only bring qualified people to the table. Does that make sense? Okay. We have a couple of minutes left. Do we have another question or two or comments? What is a qualified lead? Education is key. Don't forget the rep agreement. Thank you, Bruce. CCIM and our commercial news, that's good. Reading up on the industry. What are the good resources? Your business journal is, depending on which city you're close to, the business journals for your cities are the best that there is. You know who's doing what to who. You can see what the rates are. It's based on closed deals and transactions, but they also have a lot of information about what's new and what's coming, what the development is. And the best part about the business journals is something called the Book of Lists. When you sign up for a full subscription to a business journal, they will make sure you ask for this. It's called the Book of Lists. It usually comes out right around the first of the year sometime, maybe January, first quarter, let's say that. First quarter of the year, January, February. And it's a Book of Lists. It's the top of every type of business company, their contact name, their leader, their dollar volume, the transactions, what kind of business they do, how many employees they have. I mean, how many locations they have. It goes everything through commercial real estate. It goes through, attorneys and professions and organizations and networking groups. And you name it, it's in this book. And once you get it, you'll be carrying it around with you. It's like, this is my lead gen book, because it has all the information right there, emails, phone numbers, everything you have to worry about it being accurate. It's there. So ask for the Book of Lists. You can get it in electronic version, and you can also get it in paper. I always get it in paper. I love paper. I kill trees all the time. So I do electronic too, but I like the paper. I like to be able to thumb through it, take a look at it. Helps my brain work. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, never share comps. That's good. Not until it's your client. Exactly. Thanks, Chandalaya. I love it, T. Thank you. Your time is money. Jim, preach it, Dale. I am. I get very into this, and I'm very passionate. I think that has been probably one of my key success paths has been because, I just love commercial real estate, and I really get into it, and I just love it. And the clients sense it when you're excited. The clients sense it when you're passionate about helping them, and they sense it when you understand and are excited about the market. We can get excited about the market in any kind of market that we're in because you understand it and you can move within that market. So don't let the media slow you down. Don't let them convince you that nothing is going on. They only sell bad news. That's the only way that they can make business, is to sell bad news. Nobody buys good news. See, okay. Next slide, please. I've been talking about this throughout our presentation here. This is something that we created inside KW Commercial a couple of years ago, and it has now just been it's really an extraordinary opportunity. This is, for those that have taken Nucleus, this is the next step after, and then you have your deep dives as well, that's the next step after. But the commercial mentorship program is built for all agents that are either entering the market or that are experienced. We have everyone that is every kind of agent in our commercial mentorship program. It's a 6-month program. It is once a week for an hour on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, EDT, 11 a.m., 10 a.m. CT. It covers 22 sessions over the 6 months of everything in commercial real estate. It's basics, it's foundations, but it's modified, and it's built on today's market. So that's what we have to be, that's what we have to start understanding, is that we can use the same tools and techniques that we have before, but we have to strategize and use them effectively in the market that we're in. We can't use them the same way as we did last year. So these are the new tools. They're not the new tools, they're the new techniques using our tools and resources that we have. And so this is built for experienced agents. You come away with all kinds of metrics and Excel spreadsheets and tracking forms and pipeline forms. And, we do a business plan together. We work with your 411. We talk about negotiations. We talk about contracts. We talk about, letters of intent, how to negotiate, numerous conversations built around relationships, how to win business, prospecting letters, what to do with that on email, and in your marketing for your hard copies, and and high level accountability. It's up to you how accountable you want to be. The people that are successful in this business, the agents that are successful in this business, are the ones that are accountable not just to a coach, but also to themselves. So either have an accountability partner, work with us in the accountability factor here. And also keep it in mind that it's always great to have peers around you. One of the great things about the commercial mentorship program, it's a group program. I also am the coach, 7 days a week for this group. If you need one-on-one, you have that too. But, the accountability that you have within your peer groups is fantastic. And the dialogue that goes on, the mastermind that goes on at each of our sessions, because everybody talks. This is what I did that was successful. This is what I did that didn't work. How do I handle this situation? I got slammed up against the wall in this situation. What do I do about this? So, and then you not only have my suggestions and opportunities of the experiences I've had, you have all the people that are on the call. So take this information down. Join me at the Commercial Mentorship Program. It starts next Wednesday. I need y'all to do this. If you do it now, and you are on this call, you will get $100 off your first monthly session. It's $199 a month. That's $50 a week for this kind of training, forms, transaction materials. Everything that you could possibly imagine. So, and then we have bi-monthly mastermind too with everybody that's on the call, and y'all pick the topic. So it's whatever the current topic is that y'all want to do, and we do a mastermind on that. So, so who's in? Make sure that you use these. There's testimonials here from all those that have attended before in the little blue circle there, and then in the purple and black, that is the QR code for the registration and details on the commercial mentorship program. And I think we're going to drop this information. How long are the weekly calls? 55 minutes. I was doing them for a half an hour each, and then the dialogue and the conversations after each of the educational components just were so dynamic that I donated my own time. So we're on for generally another half an hour, 25 minutes after. So we're at an hour on the call. What else can I answer about the program? How long are the weekly calls? Do you have, okay. Cross collaboration among participants. Let's go to the next slide, please.
Dale, quick question.
Yes.
So this commercial mentorship program, as you mentioned that there's going to be a fee. So for example, in future, I'm doing any transaction. Is there going to be any commission split in that also? Or just a standard?
No, it's one fee, $199 a month. I am not in transactions anymore. I am a full-time MAPS coach. I am not a competitor. Okay. So, and I don't take any referral fees. And there's nothing like that in there for me at all. I don't work the deal. I don't work the anything. It's just merely advice, consulting, and coaching and training.
So in case I just jumped from a residential to commercial side, and I have some clients, and I'm a brand new. So if I need a help to do the transaction and all those things, you guys gonna guide from starting to beginning?
Well, here's what, is there another commercial director in your office? Go back to the other slide, please, Tris. Is there another commercial director in your office that you can rely on too?
Yeah, but because I spoke to some of the agents and they said, oh yeah, if we're gonna help you, guide you, it's gonna be like a commission split as well.
Oh,
So
okay. Well, in some aspects, that might be a good thing for you to do, and you need to consider it. Okay, you don't want them to be greedy. I can help you with that as well. Okay, I've worked at a lot of I have mentor agreements that I worked through all of the years of my experience. I had my own practice, and I was with Colliers and with NAI Global, and I've had my own firm, and I've been with KW Commercial. So I know every kind of mentorship agreement that there is, and there's some that are good and some that are not. But in my respect, I don't take any kind of commissions. It's $199 a month, and you have me as the coach, and you have your sessions once a week.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Dale.
Okay, you're welcome. I hope to see you on there. Sign up and you'll get the $100,000 or $100 off. 100,000. I love that. So you know where my mind is. Okay, there it is. There. Look in your chat box. $199 a month, and you can use Web 100 when you sign up, and that will give you the first month off of $100 on the program. I need you to, if you're going to do it, sign up today. I need people signing up today and tomorrow. So please do that before the weekend. We need to know how many people are going to be in the class starting next week on May 31st. And if you can't make a class, all right, we have workbooks, we have video replays. They're all available for you for 60 to 90 days after you've completed the program. So not only do you get the replays during the program and the workbook during the program with all the slide presentations and all of that, but you also have the opportunity to see everything on the replays if you're not able to attend that particular meeting.
Dale, one quick more question. So this program is for a limited period, like we have a 6 month or 1 year, or we can continue for as long as we want? The
program itself is built for those for 6 months. And after that, we're hoping to get you to a level that will, that you'll be able to be doing business, at a minimum. And if you're starting out in it, and double or triple your income if you're working, in that higher echelon. So I'm a one-on-one coach. That's my full-time position. But the 6 month is I'm a one-on-one coach for you if you need me during that period of time. That's 6 months.
Thank you.
RJ, did I answer your question about the deal mentorship?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. And if you need further details on that, I've got examples that I use in the mentorship, that I use in the commercial mentorship program, and I can show those to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
No, it's not one-on-one coaching for 6 months. It's the group coaching for 6 months.
No, I got it. It means
Okay. Now, somebody else asked me that question too.
my question was like if I'm paying $199 a month, it's gonna be total for 6 months. We're gonna learn everything. Now
Yes.
after that, then
Yes.
it's gonna be one.
And I'm there if you need me. And Cherie, yes, take my email down and text me, and I'll be glad to talk to you about one-on-one mastery coaching. Excellent. Love it. What else can I do for everybody today? Everything good? Let me know. Go to the next slide, please, Tris. Let me know how I can help. Email me. My phone number, the best way to do it is to text me first. Let me know you want to talk. Okay? And let me know you want to talk. That way I can set up a time, because I am coaching with my clients. But I will respond to text, and I will let you know when we can set up a time to do that. Now, August, it's $100 discount on the first month. It's $199 a month for the next 5 months. The programs for beginners is the Nucleus program. You can do that simultaneously on demand while taking the mentorship program. Okay, if you have a mentor in the office but no written agreement, I suggest you get a written agreement. Okay, thanks, Tris. Everybody have a fantastic day. I look forward to seeing you in the future, either for mastery coaching or for the commercial mentorship program. Please let me know if you have any questions. Text me directly, and I'll be more than happy to assist you in any way that I can. Thank you for joining today. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Bye now.